In this video, we are talking adding weight performance upgrades to the Redcat Gen 9. So far, this truck has had a lot of scale features. We got added lights, we have all these scale figures and accessories inside. All of that's not necessarily awesome when it comes for performance, right? Adding weight up high, not really what you need for a crawler. And when it comes to a body that's already a little bit top heavy, that's not very good. So we have some parts here from SSD and from Treal, all to help us add weight to this front axle to help balance out this truck and get our performance improved. What I'm going to show you here in this video is we're going to go take a baseline run exactly as the truck is now, come back, put all these parts on. I'll show you how I'm going to do that. And then we're going to go back out, test it again with all the new parts on it to see if we can actually see a difference in how the truck performs. So I'm going to get a battery in it. We're going to run out there first, hit the baseline. As we get started with the upgrades, first step of course is to get front tires off, and we're going to be accessing that front differential. What we have is we have this center diff cover from Treal, just nice unit. We have the inside and then the outside portal covers. I was able to get the insides from Treal. The outsides are actually from SSD. Between all three of these, we'll be adding a noticeable amount of weight to the truck. We're going to start here with the simplest one, which is just this differential cover. In order to access it and get everything on and off, most likely we're going to need to remove this steering link, but we're going to probably need to remove it anyway later in order to get these portal covers on there as we were talking about. So I'm going to go ahead, if you twist this over, you should be able to get your tool in right here on this with a nut on the bottom side. This whole screw comes out, link comes off, link comes off. We're gonna have to end up doing that later anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and get it out now. With that linkage out of the way, then we're able to come in here with a 1.5 millimeter and take out these 6 screws that hold in the diff cover. The diff cover then just slides right off, and we can then compare it to the Treal one. Same mounting, same everything like that. So it looks like we're going to be in great shape from that standpoint, but clearly a noticeably different weight to it. The Treal unit also comes with a pack of its own screws. So, yeah, because this diff cover is thicker, you will actually need to use the supplied hardware from Treal in order to get everything to mount up correctly. There it is. That looks really, really good on there. Adding good weight. Fit is perfect. Plus, nice little decorative design there will make the front end of this truck look even better. Excited to have that. Now we're going to move our focus on over to these knuckles here. Since we're replacing both the inside and outside all together, we're going to just take the upper and lower joints, the upper and lower screws out of these knuckles and take the whole thing out and rebuild them off here to the side. Now that looks really nice. This black chrome that SSD uses always looks just so nice. Then the Treal part that we're going to be using on the inside, of course. So now it's time to get this all taken apart into its respective pieces. The Treal unit does again come with different screws, so we will have to watch that and make sure to replace screws as appropriate as we fit all that on. As you take these apart, make sure you pay attention to where the bearings are in them and that they stay in there. We can go ahead and slide this gear out, but yes, we will need to take an awl and actually pop both of these bearings out because we're going to have to swap them over to the new parts. On the inside half of this portal, you will find the 3 screws here on the inside that hold this bearing in and allow everything here to come out. As we swap this over to the Treal housing, you will now be putting a metal screw into a metal housing, which means you want a little bit of Loctite on that screw so that it doesn't come out later. On the outer side with SSD parts here, the axle still slides in beautifully, no issues whatsoever. They actually designed their portal cover to where you can reuse the factory hardware, so that's what we'll be doing. Boo! This is kind of a problem. So whole assembly is together, went to go slide it here into the diff case, and I am guessing that on the Gen 9 they have revised this geometry just a little bit because that doesn't fit. It doesn't go in and it won't line up from the Treal housing to the Gen 9 new shape here. It won't fit. It won't go in far enough. I've actually made sure. I've actually come out and made sure that I was keyed into the differential appropriately. It does slide in and it does not quite fit. I hope you can see that on camera, but where this needs to go in here is at an angle like this into that lower housing, and it does not fit. And if you try to get, like as an example, if I try to line the top one up, that's how far out the bottom one is way out here compared to there. Same thing on this side. If I slide it in, it's way out there. This is all pressed in as it should be. Yeah, I'm guessing I just wasted a bunch of money on this, and I need to swap this Treal housing side back over to plastic, which means I need to take the whole thing back apart. This side back over to plastic, and I can keep the SSD housing here on this side. Holding these side by side, you can actually tell the difference here. I hope it comes across in video, but the distance between that upper pivot point and then the back side here where that bearing is noticeably larger now than it was on the Gen 8 design. They were right on top of each other here on the Gen 8 design, and here on the Gen 9 there's actually a big spacing, same on the bottom. So this whole thing has been moved over a little bit compared to how the Gen 8 was designed, which means the Gen 8 inside housings don't fit. So this all does go back together very nicely with the factory inside portion here and the SSD on the outside. Goes together, spins freely, all as well. This is why you watch the videos, is because I have a very expensive lesson learned on these Treal inside portal covers. Now you don't have to waste your money. That is all now installed, looking great, fits really well. I'm gonna hop over to this other side. Probably just skip through it on the video unless there's anything of note that I need to call out for you. And just like that, they're all put together, all done. Looking really nice, really dim. I'm happy with how it turned off. Of course, little disappointed with those Treal inside parts not being available. Not only am I losing that potential weight up here in the front to help keep me upright, but we're also now going to be stressing these plastic corners even more because we added more weight on either side of them. and they have to help hold that up. I will clearly be looking forward to someone making aluminum parts or brass parts specifically for the Gen 9. So if anybody's out there listening, make them. Mr. Lego dude is happy. Truck's all back together. Let's go give it a test drive and see if it can now get up a few of those obstacles that it struggled with before. Back from the test drive. Now, I hope it was obvious to you. I could certainly tell the difference to me. That little bit in the weight of the front really made a difference. I mean, the truck was now able to go up some of those obstacles that it couldn't quite before, right? Before it would just balance and it just wouldn't quite go up. Now it was able to keep that front end down and keep going on up that obstacle. It really kind of kills me, because what if those inside portal covers would have fit too? That would have been even better, would have made the truck even more capable. I assume, right? There is such a thing as too much weight. You can get too much weight total on the truck, and I am definitely a proponent of keeping weight on the front and taking as much off the back as possible for maximum performance. But, you know, hey, for what we did here today, that was a nice improvement. I was very glad to see that the truck could go up and over those things. Now, there's more to come. Now, we've already done a lot to this truck. We've tucked the bumpers and raised the skids, and we put the lights in, we put the stickers on, we put all the people and the scale accessories in, we got different tires and wheels on it. Now, of course, we put a little bit of weight. Still more to be done. Like to do some overdrive or underdrive in the truck a little bit. I'm a big fan of that. The other thing I'd really like to do is look at that motor and ESC situation and see if we can upgrade that some. So, Kate, if you're interested in any of that, the stuff that we've already done or the stuff that's yet to come over here and check out that Redcat Gen 9 playlist. That's where all of that stuff will be. And thank you for your time. We'll see you in that next video. Goodbye.